Hi, my name is Sam Engle. I am a pediatric endocrinologist here at Children's. I just so happen to also have graduated from the program here. I came from Kansas City for med school, all the way up to Chicago for residency, and then when I was there, one of my attendings, she was a former graduate from our fellowship program here, and she recommended that I come take a look. As I've been from the Midwest my whole life, I was kind of looking more in the Midwest, and when I came up here, I was blown away. Mostly, it was the camaraderie that I witnessed between everybody from the second I walked in at the front desk to all the providers to then the support staff that I encountered throughout the day. Probably the kicker was during the journal club that I was able to sit through when we had all of our providers, all of our nurse practitioners, we had our researchers and some of our colleagues in the adult medicine clinic join us to discuss some recent articles and kind of all brainstorm and put our thoughts and opinions into everything. It was really a unique experience that really solidified why I wanted to come here. So I did. I was lucky enough to come here in 2015 and did my fellowship here. And during my fellowship, I was involved in some research with our folks over in the Max McGee Center, which is our diabetes research center. And what I was able to do was kind of add on to some stuff they've already been working on. They've been working on some immunomodulatory studies and these immune assays to look at inflammation, and I was able to kind of look to see what the correlation between the honeymoon period was in new onset type 1 diabetes patients and that inflammation, and to kind of help predict patients that might be more aggressive or less aggressive with their disease process, and maybe if they'd be better candidates for interventions for immunomodulatory therapy. So that was great, and that was able to be published right when I finished fellowship in diabetologia. Also, with any fellowship program, you're going to be involved with quality improvement, which everybody is doing quality improvement all the time, but one of the projects that I did was more looking at how do we improve the adherence to screening for comorbidities in type 2 diabetes, because the screening tests are a little bit different than in type 1 diabetes. And so that was something that I was able to do and present some posters at the PES conference and some local events around here, which was helpful. There's also courses that we have available here to help teach us and learn some more concepts of quality improvement, because it's something that we do basically for our entire careers. So that's something that I'm still involved with after the fact, but that was my project during fellowship. More recently, I'm seeing more patients in conjunction with Dr. Cabrera's research with the Max McGee Center, and so that has been kind of my main contribution at this time, but I've also kind of shifted more into medical education, doing more lectures for the residents, lectures for our fellow, and becoming more involved with kind of coordinating our rotators through our section and making sure that they get the best experience they can, because my rotation as a med student really helped solidify my desire to go into pediatric endocrinology. So I really try to keep people interested and show them how cool it can be. And so that's kind of what I'm trying to focus on most recently. During my time here, I was able to have one child in fellowship and then another child actually as attending here. And both those times it was so easy to get the time off. I didn't feel any pressure about that. I felt no guilt about that, and I was able to spend a significant amount of time with my family in that immediate period. And if I wanted to, I could have had time later. The way we did it right afterwards. So there's a lot of flexibility if you are expanding a family to have time, and you don't have to feel pressure about that. And that kind of also leads into kind of the atmosphere, this camaraderie atmosphere that we have, which has especially been prevalent lately with the pandemic. We've had lots of calls initially when this whole thing started, and everybody from the researchers to the front staff to the nurses to the providers have all really brainstormed to find the best ways that we can care for patients, each other, and ourselves during this weird time. But as we're starting to see more patients. We're working the kinks out because it is a moving process, but it's an open door and a lot of communication, open communication, which is, I think, really critical when we are doing what we do. And even as a trainee, it's important to kind of know what's going on so we can provide the best care for our patients. So that's kind of the main thing that we've been working on recently. But as we, besides all that crazy stuff, when we are here and not trying to fix our schedules because of a pandemic, we do a lot of fun things around town. Obviously, I have 2 small children, so we don't go to the downtown bars and such, but it's been remodeled recently and it's gorgeous, and they have a brand new basketball arena, which I'd love to get to. Maybe want to get a babysitter, but the atmosphere that downtown is really energetic. But also, there's a ton of parks and a great zoo. That's kind of my main thing that we've been doing lately with our family. But so lots of things. If you want more of the bigger city kind of feel, or if you want more of the quiet life, you can kind of do either. That's kind of what most of the residents and fellows end up doing. They can leave downtown, or they can live in the suburbs if they have families, or if they just want a quiet atmosphere. So there's a lot of options, and very affordable options, I think, which is the most important thing, especially since I did my training near Chicago. So, but yeah, in general, I chose this program. I don't have any immediate family that lives here, so obviously something else is drawing me to this program and not just family. And so it's really the people that I work with, the place that I work with, knowing that I can feel comfortable coming into work and not being afraid to ask questions or help others or have others help me. It's been a good experience. So I think that if you come here, you'd experience a similar environment, and we look forward to hearing from you. Thanks.